We are back with another episode, man.
We're back, and a little bit light on the games, but a lot of news that came up.
Yeah, last week was a weird week. It was like the week after the international break. So
Yeah,
even Chelsea had a game on like Thursday.
we were catching games really early. I even told you when you said, I was like, wait, they're playing right now? I was like, yeah. I was like, oh, man.
But I mean, I guess the most exciting thing is that the Champions League is going to return this week.
So now the big boy games come around.
Quarterfinals time. So I think it's Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund. Aston Villa against let's see.
I'm not sure, but I know it's Real Madrid Arsenal, which is a
Aston Villa versus PSG, Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund, Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Bayern versus Inter.
Great game, I think that was going to be.
And then pretty much that's it. Then the second legs are obviously going to be next week. Let's start out with La Liga. What's going on in La Liga now? I think the title race is heating up.
La Liga has officially is very, very close.
Yep.
Depending on when this video comes out, right now we have it at number 1, Barcelona. Has 67 points. Real Madrid is 63 points, not too far behind. Barcelona just got to flop a couple games.
And also, Barcelona. But the crazy thing is past weekend, both Barcelona and Real Madrid dropped points. Real Madrid lost.
Yep. As well as
and Barcelona tied
against. So then you have Atletico Madrid at 57.
They're out. They're not gonna win.
It's a little far fetched now, I think.
Yeah,
but
they're not gonna win.
It's very, very tight for 1 and 2. If whoever messes up first,
because they're only 4 points apart. So all Barcelona needs to do is lose one game, and pretty much the heat is on their neck.
That's it.
It's pretty much like a Arsenal Man City situation.
We're coming to the close ending here at La Liga, as you know, which is very nice to see, but very close game. I think it's going to come down to the wire.
Yeah, let us know in the comments, guys. Who do you think will Barcelona hold out until the end of the season to clinch the title, or will Real Madrid do a last minute special like they always do in every single game they play,
and then
take it at the end of the
take that, and they may hopefully take Champions League.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I mean, let us know. Let us know. Let us also know your predictions. I know the first leg is this week. We also have second leg next week. So let me know what y'all think about that. Who's going to win? PSG versus Aston Villa. Who's going to win that tie? Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Who's going to win that? Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund. Who's going to win that? Mm-hmm. And lastly, Bayern versus Inter Milan. Who's going to win that?
Yep.
Let us know in the comments down below.
To end on this, Barcelona still has to play Copa del Rey against Real Madrid.
Yeah, and we also have an El Clasico Real Madrid final. Real Madrid Barcelona.
Knock on wood, they get all the way to the end and it becomes a Champions League final.
This could be one of the greatest seasons of all time in terms of El Clasico, for Real Madrid.
I think it can really define who takes it,
bro. Because imagine. Right now, we already have them battling it out for the league title.
Yeah,
you have them already in the Copa del Rey final. Wow, bro, and a Champions League final.
It could be huge. Bro. I mean, there's gonna be a revancha every time. If Copa del Rey Barcelona takes it, just say we'll find them in the Champions League and have to smack them there too. So I think we have a great lineup coming up on that on those battles. But I think we can definitely move on to. I think what do we hit? What do you got? I mean, we can hit a quick one. I think.
Liverpool.
It's good to hear that Liverpool has finally decided to give them a contract to Van Dijk.
Yeah. Apparently, he has confirmed that they are making progress, and I kind of knew this was going to happen. It was kind of a situation because, listen, the deal's not signed yet. Obviously, they're making progress, as Fabrizio said. But bro, when you have a player like Virgil van Dijk. And honestly, I couldn't see him playing for another team. Saudi, obviously, yeah, but bro, in terms of Europe on another team, I just can't see Virgil van Dijk in another jersey.
Yeah, and as we said, there was a rumor out there that said, hey, maybe Real Madrid wanted him, but
apparently there are reports out there that claim that Real Madrid declined the opportunity to sign him.
Yeah.
Makes sense, he's a all respect to Virgil van Dijk, but he's in his 30s now. He's at the latter stage of his career where injuries are probably going to start catching up to him. Mm-hmm. Right, ever since he tore his ACL, he's never been the same. But still, definitely top 2, top 3 center backs in the world,
100%.
But kind of makes sense for Real Madrid not to go for a 30-something-year-old center back who's at the twilight of his career.
I think if it really ever comes down to it, they would be like a.
That's a business decision.
It would be a business move. Like, you know what, fuck, we'll bring him. You know, the team's kind of not in shape. Or, you know, bring some.
And Virgil van Dijk is not a center back you bring to come in off the bench, bro. And you know, when you have people like Raul Asensio coming, you know, going up and coming up through the ranks, you don't want to stunt their growth because let's be honest. If Virgil van Dijk makes a move to Real Madrid, I don't care who's in that center back role. It could be Rudiger, Asensio, David Alaba. They're all getting the hell out.
Yeah, I think
he's starting. Yeah. One of them is gonna sit because he's definitely starting.
I think he'd even have they'll bring him again. They need somebody with a captaincy, whatever. They'll bring him thinking, who do we want next to him? And they'll even ask him, hey, Van Dijk, who do you want left on the left of you or on the right of you?
I would say probably Rudiger would move over to the right-hand side.
And you have the availability of Alaba maybe. But if there's a guy that kind of loses everything, it's Raul Asensio.
Yeah, he would have to go
too young, unfortunately. Yeah. And that'd be such a terrible move on his part if he had to.
But honestly, let me know what y'all think about in the comments. But in the future, I can see Saliba and Asensio being a partnership at Real Madrid.
I mean, what a word. That's insane. I mean,
imagine Raul Asensio rises through the ranks. I mean, he has already done, but he keeps doing what he's doing, becomes a world-class center back.
If he wins
they buy Saliba when he's like 24, 25, and those two pair out.
His buy rate will be so much if you try to buy him at the end. Like after he wins the Champions League.
Trust me, I'm telling you, bro. You know? This is what Real Madrid does every time, bro. They're gonna wait until Saliba's contract runs down. And the other day, if I'm not mistaken, they asked Saliba about his contract, and he gave the typical answer: "I'm focused on right now. What's going on right now? Yep. My contract is in 3 years. I'm focused on what's right now, bro." That's the same thing that Trent has been saying for Liverpool as well.
And he's been as close
as ever. Where's he going?
He's close as ever to Real Madrid.
Yes, sir.
He's ready to make
literally the announcement is the only thing that's left to be made.
Yeah.
But we do move on to Thomas Müller. The 25-year servant of Bayern Munich will be parting ways
with the team.
That's crazy.
I think it comes down to, and I'll bring him up after, but
yeah,
it's so big. You don't see this guy on another team.
It's kind of like a Lionel Messi situation. Like, I never thought the day Lionel Messi leaves Barcelona for free would ever come, and this is what's happening with Thomas Müller right now. I can't see him again. This is another player that I can't physically see another jersey. I mean, where does he go?
I mean, he's still gonna. I think he has one more club on him. I think they're saying that he will be going somewhere else.
I think it might be. I think it might be Saudi or Arsenal.
Saudi, Arsenal, MLS.
I'm hearing it's Arsenal. Arsenal fans, let me know in the comments what y'all think. Would you take Thomas Müller at your club? He's a leader. Something that
experience. I mean, this guy knows it. If he needs to move around these. Little kids like these Sakas or these guys.
A player that has won multiple Champions Leagues, even won a World Cup as well. When they
experience.
They absolutely spanked Brazil in the World Cup.
So I think definitely, kudos to him. Did a phenomenal 25 years at the squad of Bayern, and whoever has him next may have a little bit more of a glory from him, and then that's it. I think that.
But I mean, I was hearing rumors that it might be Arsenal. Which could potentially could potentially make sense because I would argue that Arsenal is a very young team, just like Chelsea.
I agree.
Very, very young team. I mean, their captain is Odegaard, which is like 24. I mean, I think he's 25, 26 years old.
I'm not sure.
So they do have a pretty young team.
That's what I was going to say.
I would say Arsenal might make sense for him, but then again, I don't know. Would I love to see Thomas Müller play in the Premier League? Yes, but would he be able to keep up with the pace at his age?
So.
Let me know in the comments, Arsenal fans. Would you take Thomas Müller, a leader, an experienced player, a player who has won Champions League and also the World Cup at your club? Let me know in the comments.
I think if I'm Thomas, I call it quits.
No, bro. You can't call it quits. Well, honestly,
he's won everything.
He's a German, he's a German, which means that they don't really go for money like that. If there's one thing that German fans hate is like whenever a club, like for example, right now they have RB Leipzig and like the Red Bull company taking over like the German teams, and they hate that. So I would say that he probably wouldn't go to Saudi. He would probably just retire because that's what Tony.
That's what I would want. Oh yeah. He goes. He retires at his team that he won everything, and just says thank you very much. There's nothing else he needs. He won it all.
I would say Kroos could have definitely had offers on the table to go to Saudi, but I'm sure he did. So this might be the same thing that Thomas Müller does because I mean he's won everything.
He has. Again, he won it all.
The World Cup,
just like Tony Kroos, he won it all. Just say, hey, I'll finish up here and say goodbye. How people say, leave the game before the game leaves you.
Yeah, make everything special. But
we move on.
Speaking about potentially leaving the game, well, we have somebody who's actually left the game and who is going to leave the game.
His German partner, Mats Hummels.
Mats Hummels will be leaving the game. Another World Cup winner. Won multiple, German trophies with Bayern. Obviously, he was a controversial player because he went from Borussia Dortmund
to Bayern,
which is always controversial. But
But also
got him a couple of trophies.
A 2014 winner of the World Cup as well, right?
Yep.
So he is officially retiring. I mean, guys, these Germans are just saying, "Hey, I'm good. We've done it all."
Bro, if that's one thing I've learned is like German players, they're not money hungry.
Yeah.
And they when it's time, they just call it time. Like, bro, honestly, Toni Kroos could have probably keep on going like an Iniesta, where he's well into his 30s, maybe 40, even like a Modric.
I agree.
And play till 40, but he was like, you know what? Let me call
I'm leaving.
So,
and I just like Mel, I mean, a defender that at his prime was one of the top defenders for Germany. Definitely. It was a scary sight. I mean, he was very, very quick. Had a great experience against these fast players, so he can handle that. But
yeah, he wasn't the quickest center back, but as a center back, when you don't have pace, you have to have this right here, and that's what Mats Hummels had. So I mean, congratulations on a good career, a great career. Actually, I mean, when you win the World Cup, I mean, what can I can't chat to you, bro.
You can't.
You've went on the biggest stage of them all.
Here.
You went on the biggest stage of them all.
And won.
You absolutely annihilated. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think he was a key player in the squad. I don't know if he started or if he was a big player, but you were there at the stage.
Yeah, he was there.
And you won. You have a not a Champions League, but you have a World Cup medal to your name. That's not a lot. That's not something a lot of people can say.
No way. And again, it's good to see,
definitely.
Very happy for him, and hopefully he gets a good career right after that. Maybe becomes one of those.
Yeah, probably gonna go into business like most of these footballers do nowadays.
I mean, a lot of these Germans don't even go into it.
Where's that chill? What is Toni Kroos doing now?
I don't know.
Bro, he's probably just chilling, just watching Real Madrid potentially win the Champions League. But it seems like it's a leaving episode today. Because we have Kevin De Bruyne confirming that he will be leaving Manchester City at the end of the season.
Big man.
And obviously this was a very down season for Man City. You could tell they were just out of their wits this season. They had no chance, right?
It sucks.
But you kind of sensed it that Kevin De Bruyne was going to leave.
Yeah. I mean, yes, his time was up just as much as other players. He had a couple of injuries as well that really tore him down. And for him to come back, he did have a great season as well when he came back. Not as strong as he did, but he did very well. And coming into this season where the team has not been at par, has been very, very tough for him. They just tied against Man United in the derby, which was the last derby, which I wish they would have done something for him, but he did wave around and
listen to this.
Give him the goodbye.
Ruben Amorim is undefeated against Pep Guardiola. At Sporting.
Oh, yeah. At the end.
He came to Man United. They won 2-1. Remember Amad Diallo scored that goal?
Yep.
And then now they just drew 0. So
hey, Ruben Amorim is just killing all these players, man.
Chill.
Kevin, gone.
But let's talk about what this could potentially mean. I mean, this is a player. You could go ahead and read off his accolades.
So this is a player with big career goals.
Yeah,
and he had 6 EPLs,
bro, 6 Premier League. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nothing compared to what Manchester United players have won. There's Paul Scholes won 11 Premier League titles, but 6 is still very great.
5 EFLs.
Okay, so Carabao Cup trophies,
2 FA Cups,
okay,
2 Community Shields,
okay.
1 Champions League. Not bad to put on the roster.
And he was a consistent feature in the UEFA Team of the Year. He always got that, shout.
He got the 5 times PFA EFL
for Premier League and PFA Players of the Season twice. So, I mean, the guy is a well-decorated player. We're talking about individual trophies and trophies in itself. Somebody's that's very decorated. But one thing I rate about Kevin De Bruyne is that he's honest. When they asked him about, I think he did an interview, he was like, listen, why am I leaving Man City? Obviously,
what did he say?
He's at the end of his career. He knows that. But he said, you're talking about a life-changing amount of money in Saudi. And I think he's basically confirming that he's going to go to Saudi. But this is what I like about Kevin De Bruyne. He's like a Tony Cruz, very, very honest.
Yes.
Players like to go, I'm going to go play with Ronaldo, which is true. It's the best move for my career right now. Bullshit. It's money, bro. When somebody is, just like Kevin De Bruyne has said, like, somebody is throwing you a life-changing amount of money, bro. His kids, however many times you want to say kids, are set for life.
100%.
To mess up that amount of money.
To say no to that amount of money.
To say no to that amount of money would be stupid, right? But, unless you're selling your soul, obviously. But I will go ahead and record and say this, like, if his kids mess up that money, they should go to jail for life.
Oh, 100. I mean,
bro, you're talking
much money,
and it's non-taxable.
Non-taxable. I mean, I think for something like Kevin De Bruyne, he's won it all. Yeah, and they're off. So okay, listen, he doesn't need more. He doesn't need more trophies, but he's won it all. And now the Saudi's saying, "Hey, forget the trophies.
Yeah, come collect this 400.
Here's a couple bands.
Yeah, that's it. Come collect this 400 mil.
Collect this. Oh, and this 400 mil? Oh, all for you, baby.
Uncle Sam is not gonna come.
All for you.
In America, we call it Uncle Sam, but Uncle Sam is not gonna come.
He ain't gonna touch it.
Come on, bro.
So after you finish here in Saudi, go live back in Belgium or go back to England and have a great life.
England, Belgium. I'm probably gonna go back to Belgium, but go wherever you want to go. Come collect this 400 mil.
Yeah,
that we're ready to give you.
You'd be dumb not to take it.
Play 2-3 more.
And I'm sure he has enough money, but I'm sure you'd be dumb to take it to not be at the highest level to have even more money.
I just wanted to point that out. Let me know what y'all think about this. Kevin De Bruyne leaving Man City, but I like when players are this honest and they're just saying, "Yo, bro, it's for the money." Like somebody's giving me, 400 mil or however much it is, even if it was 100 mil.
Yeah.
I'm never going to see this money at Man City.
Never.
Even though they're owned by, the Saudis. There's a lot of oil money there. But, nobody's going to give me this money. No. But I did want to talk about something that was interesting, too, because obviously Kevin De Bruyne leaves. So what does Pep Guardiola do now? Does he buy a new number 10 or does he stick Foden in that 10 role? Or the last game that they played, I saw Jack Grealish in that number 10 role. And, bro, he scored a goal. He scored a goal and he was very good. Me personally, I always thought that, Jack Grealish at Aston Villa, he's a winger. But in a system-based team like Man City, I really think Jack Grealish could really flourish in that number 10 role.
That's interesting to say. I mean, I do see him there. Unlike I've seen a couple of interviews of Gary Neville and all these guys. Mm-hmm. Gary puts Phil Foden as number 10. But how do you put him there? I'm sorry, we're going to the England side, but I like him. I like Phil Foden as a winger more.
Really?
I just feel like his cuts in and his work rate on the right. No one can handle his movement from him going to right to left.
I think
he's almost as Lamine Yamal crazy to shoot from outside the box and make a banger happen.
I mean, this is a player, Phil Foden, who won, PFA Player of the Season and Player of the Season 2 years ago when Man City won the league. Mm-hmm. Well, actually, last year when Man City won the league, right? So for him to have this bad of a season this year is incredible. Wow. But honestly, I don't think Phil Foden is a winger. Phil Foden is a pocket player, somebody that hides behind the six.
I agree. Okay, I don't mind that.
Plays between the lines.
Yeah.
He's going to get the ball in the half turn. And I would honestly argue there is no better player right now, in that Man City team, or even maybe an Odegaard. I will give Arsenal fans that. But I don't know a player right now in the Premier League that's better on the half turn than Phil Foden. Bro,
yeah.
When he gets that ball, touch turn, bro, it's
quick. It's quick.
You talk about feet, bro.
I give you that for sure.
I promise you, bro. Phil Foden for me. Obviously, I'm not an intellectual genius like Pep Guardiola is. He revolutionized the game, but bro, Foden in that number 10 role, I think it could be. I don't think it's a winger. I think it's a pocket player.
I think we're going to definitely be having to keep an eye on Man City because they have so many players that can fit this position. Not as great as Kevin De Bruyne. In
EAFC 25, they have the because I play a lot of career
the
mode.
Formations.
They have this role called, I think it's called Shadow Striker, or something like that. Somebody that just roams around the pocket. Like he is able to go wherever he wants in that across that front line. If he needs to go and act as a half winger or somebody like he's that guy. Pockets.
So you're putting him in that like middle section.
You see anywhere in the final third, anywhere you want to go, you can go.
And are you putting Grealish as a winger?
But that's the thing is because I think Jack Grealish is the same. I think in Man City, like I said, in any other team, which is what he was in Aston Villa, he was a big fish in a small pond at the time. Aston Villa is now up there,
very high.
Well, at the time he was at Aston Villa, he was a small fish in a big pond. Me personally, I think that at City, he's not a small fish in a big pond.
No.
He's probably a medium fish in a big pond, which means that he has to kind of settle for that pocket space, which I think on the half turn as well, Grealish is pretty good. So I think he could be in that number 10.
I feel like I also just saw, unfortunately, Phil Foden having a really bad season. They just last game they subbed him out 76th minute or something like that, or a really early stage, and put in Doku.
Yeah, but that's not really early to say. 76 minutes.
I'll double check that. But it was like something that was like, wait, well, like why did they take him out? Is he doing bad?
Well, I mean, Jeremy Doku is somebody who's gonna give you that dynamic flair off the bench. But yeah, let me know what y'all think about that, Man City fans. You know, or just Premier League fans or football fans in general. I personally think that Foden is not a winger. He's a pocket player. Obviously, now Kevin De Bruyne leaving Man City. Also, Grealish, maybe, Pep Guardiola could do what he did at Barcelona and play with 2 10s or 2 8s where Phil Foden and Grealish, but we never know because obviously they have Doku, Savinho, and also Marmoush now. So, Haaland and Marmoush are going to be battling it out. They might be playing with 2 strikers, but you never know.
It's funny that you say the 2 centermen, the 2 10s. 2
8s or 2 10s.
Because Gary Neville was actually talking about that for the England squad.
England could do that. And they were Jude Bellingham,
exactly. But then they were really arguing about how Phil Foden is one of those guys that does that, right? But I guess
he's a pocket player, bro.
You had they had Watkins as well.
Yeah, Watkins. So they had a striker,
but they had a couple other players where they were like, no, these guys should be here and there. But hopefully Phil Foden just keeps on putting it in.
I mean, let me know what y'all think about that. I just said something that was probably for some people outlandish, but personally, bro, I honestly think that Philip Foden.
He's a geezer.
Is on the half turn, bro. Maybe you can put Odegaard in as matter of fact, you can definitely put Odegaard in that conversation. But I would argue, bro, like on his day, like 2024, Phil Foden, player of the season, Phil Foden is like
nasty.
Number 1 in the Premier League when it comes to on the half turn, bro. Taking the ball,
100%.
touch turn.
He's lethal. I mean, he was very dangerous against Real Madrid when we played him on that side. He was so tough to hold. And like Pep Guardiola said, he goes, misses, and scores 1, and it's going to be a banger because he has to against these bigger teams.
Exactly.
But praise to Phil Foden. Hopefully we see you.
Let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. Obviously, Kevin De Bruyne leaving Manchester City. Where will he go? Let us know. But we didn't want to touch on also Raphinha. He's been behaving like Vinicius Jr. a little bit lately. I, as a Barcelona fan, I don't like that because
they go to internationals and then he comes back.
Crazy because I mentioned in the last video, somebody tweeted, it seems like Raphinha's been spending a little bit too much time with Vinicius Jr., bro. And as a Barcelona fan, that's not something that I want in my club. I'm sorry. Vinicius is a great player, but that attitude stinks.
Well, a little bit of Raphinha has been doing that now. So they just tied against Real Betis, a very, very tight game, which we have seen that has been going on. Very tight game because it's a very tight top 3 now, right?
Very close, tight race right now, bro.
It's very tight. So everybody's going to be on edge. They have to win games no matter what. They ended up tying that 1-1, right? And Raphinha did not like that.
Yeah, well, I mean, he went to the ref. He said, "Tú eres mal educado."
Yeah,
which means you're a dumbass.
Yeah, basically you're rude and you're a dumbass. You're dumb. What are you doing? Very, very strong with him. Then coach comes to talk to him, and
he pushes off the coach. He's like, "Yeah, fuck out of my way."
Yeah, he's like, "Get out of my way! I'm talking to the referee. He's trying to get through."
And then also Ter Stegen tried to,
on his way out,
him as well, and he was pushing Ter Stegen as well. And the big thing about Ballon d'Or.
Which
apparently there's a big reason why Vinicius didn't win.
Which was the third criteria of the criteria to win the Ballon d'Or. Number 3, be fair play and classy on the field.
In all my years of the Ballon d'Or, bro, I never knew that was a category.
I mean, number one, individual performance, crucial actions, impressive on-field behavior, vital role in the team, and honor. Right.
But those two I always knew about, but I never knew. I guess they added it last year.
For Vinny. They added it for Vinny.
That's a conspiracy theory, but listen,
man.
We don't know how true that is, but listen, man. If Raphinha wants to win that Ballon d'Or, he's
got to clean up.
But, I mean, to be honest, it's only his first incident. Yeah. I really haven't seen him crash out on a ref like that.
No, me neither. That's why it was weird to see.
But listen, man, Raphinha, please, man.
Take it easy.
You're ruining it, fam. Look at my mouth. You're ruining it. Listen, man. Well, you have to get it together. Stop hanging out with Vinicius.
He was doing good because they had just played Atletico. He shook everybody's hand on the way out.
Nah, but he was crashing out last game, bro.
Last game, he was like not having it. The viral video, go check it out. It's just Ter Stegen just like getting shoved from the referee and Raphinha, but the referee was instigating it. He was like, "Hey, get out!" Like, "Yo, you out." He was giving him some.
But sometimes as a ref, you get to the point where they're like, "Bro, this dude is talking too much trash." Like,
yeah, we gotta get him out.
Get out. But listen, man, let me know what y'all think about that in the comments. You know, Raphinha acting up. He's been partying. He's been partying with his buddy.
Yeah. Does it affect him in the Ballon d'Or?
It's just too much later. It will definitely affect the Ballon d'Or because it's literally a criteria, which I never knew. I've been watching the Ballon d'Or ceremony for over 10 years now, and I didn't know that, you know, the third requirement or obligation was that you are fair and, you know, respectful and conduct yourself in a respectful way on the pitch, which doesn't surprise me. I mean, you would want, you know, somebody who represents your award ceremony to be respectable and on the pitch.
Sure, but I think how Cristiano said it, I think they went away from the Ballon d'Or being performance only. Goals.
I think personally, if you ask me, I think when you talk about individuals awards, it shouldn't be about what the player does off the pitch, or what the player or what the only player on the pitch. The only thing that on the pitch matters is what the player does. Does he impact his team in a positive way? As one of the requirements says, does he contribute to the team's honors and teams and titles and stuff like that? Yes, but when it comes to like behavior and stuff like that, I can see how that might be a problem, but I don't think it should be a contingency.
I agree. It should be talent.
So crazy.
Talent all the way through. How you perform.
Yeah, how did you play this season? You know, who was the best?
Because
player?
Sometimes you have to be the villain to win. So you can get seen. If Vinny has to be seen this way, but he still performs, call me the bad guy, but I'll win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah, but Rodri deserved it anyways. I stand on that still. But hey, let us know in the comments.
That's another one.
Let us know in the comments. What do y'all think of them adding that third rule that you have to be, you know, fair play on the pitch and all that stuff?
And class.
And what do you think about Raphinha acting up because he's been partying with his buddy?
Yeah,
and it's just too much. I mean, I don't like that as a Barcelona fan.
You gotta quit the Barcelona.
Let us know in the comments who will win the Champions League. Will it be an El Clasico final?
Let's predict some of the
This might be as a Barcelona fan, bro. This might be one of the greatest seasons I've ever experienced, bro.
I think it's gonna be good. What do you predict for Barcelona?
This might be up there with MSN, like, bro. To win La Liga, beat Real Madrid in a Copa de España final, and to win the Champions League against Real Madrid potentially, bro.
We're in for a treat. Keep an eye out for the game.
And the Barcelona player wins Ballon d'Or, and he might be Brazilian.
It's been a long time coming if they want to pull it off. I think at the end of the day, they go Brazil. I mean, Borussia Dortmund, Barcelona first leg. What do you think? First leg.
I'm gonna say Barcelona's gonna win 2-0.
Damn. Okay.
Arsenal versus Real Madrid. What are you thinking?
I was thinking 2-1 Real Madrid.
5-0 Real Madrid.
Make a nice ending. Yeah! The disrespect is crazy.
5-0 Real Madrid, bro.
Put in the comments what you guys think.
5-0 Real Madrid. First leg. Second leg is going to be...
One of the first legs, put them down there and see if we get them right.
Hey, I'm just exaggerating, but I would say maybe 5-0 on aggregate. Because I don't think Arsenal's going to score, but hey.
Dude, I've been seeing some of these TikToks and like these like...
I love getting other Arsenal fans' skins because they can't take it. They've never won a major trophy like this before. So
it's funny to watch.
They've won a Premier League, but they've never won like Champions League, Club World Cup, stuff like that.
But you see like these TikToks on TikTok and the Arsenal, right? It's about Arsenal, just they're strong, they're ready, and
I saw a guy doing a prediction. He said 2-0 Arsenal. I'm like, bro, what are you talking about?
I don't know.
This is what he said. Bro. He said that Arsenal.
Let's be realistic.
He said Arsenal's gonna win 2-0 first leg, and then Arsenal's gonna win 2-0 second leg. So 4-0. I agree. I'm like, bro, Arsenal fans are so delusional. But hey, I'm not gonna get into that. I don't want to. I don't want to piss that certain guy in the comments off because I
think if they really want to, the Real Madrid will do this to humiliate. They will beat them. No, they will lose in the Bernabeu. They will lose. And then we'll go to Emirates and slap shut up, man. Y'all will not have a chance. And we do this over and over again. Man City did the same thing. They wanted to take us out bet. We'll show you here and we'll show you over there.
Hey, listen, man. Let us know y'all Champions League predictions.
It's going to get good. That's tomorrow.
The Champions League is going to continue into next week. There's a second leg, but let us know. Oscar, where can the people find us?
Yo, find us on Offside Combos on Instagram and TikTok. And most importantly, the YouTube side.
Yes, sir, because this is the long form content and you miss some of the little pieces that we add in there. Yeah. So go subscribe, like, and comment on the YouTube channel right now. Go follow us on Instagram and TikTok. It's Offside Convos. Very easy to find. But yeah. So we got for y'all today.
I think I appreciate everybody checking in with you guys, us as well.
We are over 300 followers on Instagram and we're almost at 200 followers on TikTok.
I see the followers,
guys, get us there.
I see the followers going up on my phone like, yo, where did these guys come from? But I appreciate the love. We're gonna keep going. We're gonna keep grinding. Catch you guys on the next one. Over and out. Peace.